Welcome back to Makeup Tip Tuesday. Okay, last week we had to do a little bit of a stop, not motion, in terms of me filming because we have been busy bees behind the scene. We have come up with a brilliant idea, actually. So we've been a little bit hush-hush. You've seen some behind the scenes of our blooper reels, but we have created something incredibly unique that I really do think is going to change the face of retail and how brands show up on retail shelves. So those of you that don't know me, or if you're new to MisMacK, welcome. I'm Missy. I'm the founder CEO of MisMacK Clean Cosmetics. My name is Missy McIntosh. That's where the name comes from. And I have been in retail honestly since I was 14. I started with my mom with doing Mary Kay, which is still retail. And then I managed a retail counter at the Bay back in the day for Makeup Forever, and then was headhunted by Shoppers Beauty Boutique to manage what was on the largest boutique in Western Canada and the first one to have Makeup Forever. And then that was before Sephora took over the world. And now, fast forward, I created MisMacK in 2018. We launched with our biodegradable glitter and our Gaia Gloss. And of course, in 2019, we relaunched the rest of MisMacK, or not the rest of it, I should say. We launched the cosmetic color side of MisMacK. And I went into wholesale. I went to retail right away, and it kind of hindered our growth because I was building the brand and figuring out who we were, our voice and all of that, while also building wholesale. And I felt like I was building up other people's business over building up mine. So when the world shut down and COVID, it actually was the best thing for us because it forced me to go direct to consumer. We offered online Zoom lessons and all that jazz out of my basement, and we had people from all over North America joining. It was really cool. And then it grew us into my first storefront. So this one here, set your calendar for April 11th because it was our 5-year anniversary of the store. And retail was very different after COVID, okay? I also was very much a service-oriented makeup artist. That's what I did. That's what I thrived on that connection. And now, fast forward to now, we are onboarding nationally with Pharmasave. And the biggest thing with me is how do we recreate that MisMacK experience in and on a shelf when a lot of the time we're not going to be able to touch point with that staff member to be able to give them that training. So instead of leaving that in the hands of the Pharmasaves and their staff, how do we take control back of that experience? So the idea came to me, and it actually came from doing self-guided tours at the Louvre and at Alcatraz. And I loved them. I loved that it was your own experience. It was your own journey. Whatever you do, you have an automated and now with your phone, whatever. But I loved it. I'm like, how do we bring that into the MisMacK shelving? So we have created the MisMacK self-guided product tour. So beside each product on a Pharmasave shelf or retail, Porcello will also have these, Green Vanity, you name it, any other retailer that we roll out in will have these tent talkers beside each product with either myself, Katie, or Jessica's face and the product and a QR code. So you can scan it to learn what it is, how you use it, and why it works. That is it. It's a tour. It's a journey onto MisMacK where we can give you that education on the product, learn how to use it, why, in under 60 seconds. Some of them are 90, I'm not gonna lie, because when you have Gaia Gloss or Depop and Prime, and there's so many different ways to use it. But yeah, and it brings you on a tour, brings you on a journey. You can learn directly from us without ever stepping into a MisMacK store or heading online. Yeah, I'm pretty freaking proud about this. I really do think this is going to change the way that brands show up, because that's the biggest thing is you go into a counter or whatever where counters don't even exist anymore in Canada. Since the Bay is gone, you have displays, and then it's relying on the actual staff to educate the consumer on that brand. And it's a lot. Like, it is a lot of information. I know because I've worked in it. I've seen it, I've done it. And it is hard to be able to create that brand experience with that particular brand with one staff member. So that is what we have been doing. We have been filming I think there's 20 videos. Jess and I only have 2 more to go today, and then it is complete and we start designing the shelf talker. So that's why last week I had to bring in Mandy, because a lot of you asked for, even people stopping me at the arena, of how you fix your art shadow, where we can find this video. And Mandy, one of our ambassadors, this is the first time we've ever done this, did an amazing video of how to fix one when she dropped it. So we utilized, and that was the first time we've ever spotlighted an ambassador, which was pretty cool. So now we're getting back into it. We're almost complete. It's been really exciting. And this is why we have kind of paused reaching out to Pharmasaves right now, because we want this tour to be set up. Seminar will be the first one to have it. And what we'll do is we're gonna ask our ambassadors in our community to go take the tour. Can you film yourselves taking this tour and invite everyone to participate? Because we're really proud and we're really excited, and you're able to have that connection with us no matter where you are in Canada or North America, and once we go global. So today's look has to be inspired by the films that I am filming today. My last one is Eye Black. And the grit sticks, as well as Glitter Envy, which is our very first product that we launched, our biodegradable glitters. So in the videos, I should be wearing it. So today's look, I'm going to be using the green grit stick. So I do have, of course, you saw me put my Depuff and Prime on first. I did put salmon, and you can see I'm very fair, where salmon looks very peachy right now. So if you were experiencing that, mix a little bit of your canvas into it and it'll go back to a neutral tone. I'm gonna go over it with gameplay with our grit stick in green. So you're not really gonna see it, but if you're doing an everyday look, I probably would have neutralized that and toned it down so it wasn't like just salmon, that's all you saw, okay? Okay, so I'm gonna take that all over blending brush that I used to apply my salmon. At home, I have 2 brushes. I have one for my shadow, and then I have one for my cream. I have 2 of these. But today I'm just gonna go right in. So loading up the brush, you want to load this up quite a bit. It's more gameplay than what you think. Okay, this is like the one time in MisMacK we're gonna say we're gonna load it up. Okay, I'm gonna start this into the center of the eye and applying. And down. So not only that, we are quick turnaround. Literally, that idea of the self-guided product tour came to me 2 weeks ago, and we've executed this in like a week and a half. So I'm so proud of my team. So proud. And we had to do these in 1 take because there's no editing it. There's no editing it. So now I'm gonna take this all the way up into here. And I'm just seeing that I have a little bit of a salmon bright part right there. So I'm just gonna take a clean brush and blend that out, okay? You can always go back and fix anything that you see as you're building up your eye makeup, okay? Now I'm gonna do a combination that I have not done before. Good idea, Missy, let's do this. Let's do a new combination for filming. Hey, this is what we do. So I'm actually gonna use our gold champagne gold glitter in the inner corner. I'm gonna go with the pink glitter in the middle, and then I'm gonna set the outside with Regal. So a little bit of a funner look today while we're filming the tour of gameplay and the glitters, because you can see how versatile this is. And if you guys saw over on Instagram yesterday, we got a sample of our new red biodegradable glitter that we will be launching on Canada Day. Okay, this is probably our most requested glitter color yet, besides a purple, which we are working on a purple stick. But the red glitter for all the teams, Montreal, we have the red blacks that we've been chatting with that has been really excited about a red glitter. It's been so exciting. And then we mixed our blue, so our blue lagoon, in with it, pardon me, on the back of my hand, and it literally looked like the clone of rockets. So tomorrow we're shooting our first bomber campaign. We have a brand new co-branded product that is only going to be available at the bomber store, and Evan and I are going to be on the face of the tags. So you guys, we haven't like released this yet. We're gonna be rolling it out with the bombers, but we're shooting the campaign tomorrow. So, and then this kit is something that we're going to be pitching to all associations, including the NCAA. So many people have asked about that, about college teams. Yes, we can do that. We can do co-branded kits with the team colors. Really anything, we can really do anything. So it's so exciting. And the bombers will be the first. The first. Okay, so I'm gonna take a clean brush and I'm just gonna buff this out. So it is always a good idea to have a clean, either small or large crease brush, just to blend out the edges. It's because I did load up this brush, don't put it in your hair, into quite a bit of pigment. So once you kind of get to that point of no return, use it to apply, and then use a clean brush to blend out. All right. So remember the rule of thumb, we need to leave it bare where we're going to have the glitter stick to it. But because I'm going to do the shadow on the outside, I'm actually going to do that first. I just find it blends so much easier with the glitter as if you do the shadow parts first and then seal it in with the glitter. So I'm going to take Regal, which is AKA Nelson. Okay, she used our dense matte. With this color, it is actually best to loosen the green so the pigment is loose, and then pick up that loose pigment with your brush. What can happen is the oil from a brush can leave a film. Actually, you can see it on here. This is Kamloops, so you can kind of see that little bit of film on it. Okay, that's the oils from the brush. Don't drop it. I did not drop it, woohoo! That can build up onto your pan, and you just take the back of your brush and you loosen it up, okay? That will avoid that from happening. Okay, small crease brush, Regal, I'm gonna tap and set that green. I don't know what that is. We're gonna set the green. We're gonna tap, 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 tappity, tap, tap. Now, if you're wanting like an all over green smoky eye, just set the rest with Regal, or AKA Nelson. That will set the green. You'll have a really opaque green smoky eye. Regal is also the color we use to mix into our foundation to create the amazing color corrector for any redness in the skin. I do have a Makeup Tip Tuesday on this. If you scroll way back down, actually one of our amazing community investors is in my chair, Marilyn, who has been with us from the very beginning. I show you how to create that to neutralize the redness. She's sitting in my chair. Okay, so I'm gonna do the same to the other side. Tappity tap tap. Okay, once that is set, you might start to see that your inner corner is starting to crease with the cream. This is normal because it's warming up on your skin. Before you set it with the glitter, it's important to kind of blend that little creasing out before you set it. If you set it with that creasing there, you're gonna set the crease, okay? So that's why making sure everything's smooth before you go in and really set this. Now, because we are filming, I have to do this a little bit slower and making sure it's a little bit more blended out in edges. So I'm just taking our large crease brush, which I'm obsessed with this brush. I will do a Makeup Tip Tuesday next on how to utilize this brush because I literally am obsessed now. Okay, all right, get into the fun stuff. Okay, I'm going to do the pink one first. So our Pink Perfect, using the same brush that we applied the green or your grit stick with, okay? You want that cream onto your brush so we avoid foliage. We're gonna pick it up, okay? We're gonna pick up, we're gonna tap. Very important that we tap. Don't blow, because you blow spit. Let's keep it hygienic, people. Okay, and we're going to tap and set. So this is one of our OG glitters that launched in 2018. We're still the only brand in Canada that offers a biodegradable glitter at a retail level. And this changes depending on what's underneath it. So pretty. And then press. Ooh, that was a lot of glitter in there. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of push this and move this around so it's set. and then my edge. Okay, now we'll do the same to the other side. I like going back and forth and tap, pressing this in. Now you can see how the more I tap it, the more muted it goes, because that cream product that was originally on the brush is now going over top of that glitter, okay? So if that starts to happen, I'm just gonna reactivate it with another layer over top, and I'm wiggling it to make sure that it really sets into the green. Make sure this is even right in here. Okay, you can see it's kind of like you wanna work in sections kind of a thing. Okay, now we're gonna go in with the gold. Now, when you do have a new glitter, make sure you keep that little white piece that comes with them now. That will avoid any of it loosening in your makeup bag and getting really messy. Okay, I'm gonna lightly grab the tip with a little bit of the champagne, and I'm gonna go into my inner corner. Right there. I'm gonna put a little bit into my crease. Pretty. And the same to the other side. Tapping. So you can see how the more you tap over this, the muted the glitter goes, the more, oops, let's not touch the mic, the more one press where you're depositing that glitter, the more intense it is, okay? Okay, now we're just gonna kind of blend those edges. I'm gonna put a little bit of gold in here, just to make it fun. Now for the bottom of the eye, I'm going to take whatever's left over that I used for this outer corner with a Regal, and I'm gonna lightly buff it back and forth underneath my eye, just so it kind of like comes all together, very, very lightly. See, I'm not even re-picking up, I'm just using whatever is left over. And then we're gonna go into, right there needs to be blended. Anywhere that I like to see, I don't like to see a harsh start and end to glitter, so it's kind of like you kind of gotta push it around. If you've ever gotten your nails done with a glitter ombre, you know you kind of have to like push it around. Okay, we're almost done. We're gonna go into mascara now, and oh no, I forgot to grab a brush. Hold please. There we are. Okay, liner brush. This is, of course, as you all know, my mascara that stays here that I use for my videos, okay? She's still coming out clumpy. This is perfectly normal, right? The more you use it, the more normal it will go to. So this is one of those things that are gonna be on the shelf talker, okay? That explains the whys behind it in 60 to 90 seconds. Okay, I'm gonna tight line. So tight lining, I like to go in and I like to apply this as if I'm applying mascara. Jess made a comment yesterday where she said she kind of like pokes it into her. I find that's really pokey. She's afraid by doing this that she's gonna get it on the top of her lid. I have yet to experience it. Like, it's kind of foolproof because you're stamping right in there. You can kind of feel it's a bit wet. That's where you know that it's in the right spot. So tight lining, like so, okay? Just nice and soft. I'm gonna do the same to the other side. Going in and stamping. And then right in here. So when you get to that inner corner, move your iris the opposite direction and get into that corner. So you can see how my iris, I'm looking this way, the white is exposed to my inner corner, and then I can get in there and I can stamp without flinching. Oops, just don't poke and put it onto the bottom. Grab it before it dries. And then I can go in and I can build it up. One thing you do want to make sure is don't use this for tight lining when it's close to coming to the end where it's dry. Also, don't pump your mascara. It's super important. Okay, that will shorten the lifespan of your mascara itself. So we're gonna go in, we're now gonna use it as our mascara. She is one of our top sellers for a reason. Okay, it's all about that wiggle. We're gonna wiggle and manipulate those lashes up. Especially if you're someone like me that I actually have lashes that point straight down. That wiggle, it's kind of like you're kind of like using it as like a curling iron. Okay, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And then fanning it out. In the inner corner, I like to use the tip of my wand to sort of spread out my inner lashes. And then I like to put extra coats on that outside just to give me like that little bit of a flare, okay? Now, bottom is a very personal preference. I always like to say it depends on the fan that you have or your lash real estate. If you only have one or two, just leave them. But if you have a nice fan, do it very lightly, okay? The rule of thumb is you want more mascara and makeup on the top of your lid, less on the bottom, so it draws attention right into your iris. Very, very key for balancing out your makeup application. Okay, I always like to say, think of the 80s eyeliner, right? Where it's only on the bottom. Or tight lining is only on the bottom. It closes the eye off. It's also the hardest trend to get over. The hardest one because you feel naked, but once you do it, it actually makes you look younger. It's also faster in your makeup application because you don't have to do it every day, but it is one of those really intense trends that are really hard to get over. Okay. Which is why we're all about having fun, but still keeping it timeless classic and balanced proportions. All right, a little bit there. Okay, ooh, our eyes are now ready to film. Okay, off camera, I'm gonna finish my skin, do my cheeks and all of that. And then we are ready to film the last videos of our MisMacK self-guided product tour. I cannot wait for you guys to experience this. I'm so excited to be able to talk about it now. Yeah, we're gonna change the face of retail, one shelf talker at a time. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Okay, thank you so much for joining me for this week's Makeup Tip Tuesday. I hope you have fun with your makeup and your glitter. This is also the same one that your kids are wearing on their cheeks. And all completely clean. And do make sure that you use our cleansing balm stick to take it off because this was left over yesterday from doing the red demo on the back of my hand. And I washed my hands after, it did not come off, like holy moly. Make sure that you're removing it properly with our cleansing balm stick. Okay, I hope you all have a fabulous week and we will see you next Tuesday.